Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. My name is Agbo. Today I want to talk about Africa in general, and I want to tag it as Igbo Africa to the world. So this topic, Igbo Africa to the world, I'm going to emphasize so many things about Igbo tradition, Africa in general, where we are getting it right and where I think we are getting them wrong. So let's go. Igbo Africa to the world. Igbo Africa to the world, as I said, I'm going to emphasize on so many things about Igbo and Africa in general. It bothers me a lot that we Africans, since after colonization and slave trade, we Africans, we continue to enslave ourselves. In the sense that Oyibo, the so-called Oyibo, I respect them. The Oyibos, they came to our land, very few of them, deceived our forefathers, took them away, gave them names, teach them their traditions, change their attires, the way they wear clothes, and up to today, most of us, the younger generations, are still killing ourselves, trying to practice Oyibo tradition, trying to wear attire the way they do, trying to organize our marriages the way they do, try to speak their language, even the way I'm speaking now, English, trying to bear their names, and so on and so forth. Africa to the world, Igbo to the world, Igbo Africa to the world. We are going to start changing our mentality in general, because this world has come to a stage whereby we younger Africans need to start fighting back, not with guns and bullets, but with our mentalities. So, if you come to Igbo land, for example, there are so many of our people in Igbo that up to today, when they give birth to their newborn babies, they give them foreign names that you will be imagining which kind of name, where does the name come from, what does it mean? With all due respect to my fellow Igbos and some other African countries, we give names that have no meaning. We give names that if you call the name outside Igbo land, nobody will recognize that the child comes from Igbo. The same thing applies to other tribes in Nigeria, for example. The same thing applies to other countries in Africa. So this thing has to change. Can you tell me what is the meaning of Smith? For example, what is the meaning of Smith? You might know, but I don't know. I don't know the meaning of Smith. But I know the meaning of Ike. Ike means power. If you prolong it, Ike Chukwu means God's power. Smith, Williams, all those Figeto, whatever they might try to call it, Oyibo's name, we borrow those names, we learn those names. Those names were a kind of imposed on us to begin to answer. And up to today, our people that even think that they are learned, they continue bearing those names. They continue with proudness giving their children those names without even giving their children their traditional names. The worst part of it is that apart from those names, we continue speaking only English. For example, if you come to Nigeria, so many of our people in Nigeria, they continue speaking only English language to their children, teaching their children only English language. In fact, in some schools in Nigeria, if you speak your mother tongue, which might be your Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, Efik, and the rest of them, if you speak in the school, people will kind of begin to laugh at you that you don't know how to speak English. Even teachers, not knowing that English is borrowed. English, we learned English from the so-called Igbo from England when they colonized us. And this English, I respect them English people, but they equally have to respect our own language. No language in the world is superior to other. So every language matters. I live in Italy, for example. Italian language, they don't play with it. Once you come to Italy, you have centers where you go to learn their language free of charge. So they teach you their language for you to be able to adapt to the system of Italian. And these things are so important. If you go to every country in Europe, they teach their children and everybody that comes to their land, their language. That is the first thing you have to learn before they give you job, before you begin to get some social things, some social help. So language is very, very vital for we in Africa to start speaking our own languages. Culture. So another thing is culture. I agree very well that in our own culture, for example, in Igbo land, let me talk about Igbo, where I come from, but I'm very sure that it's applicable in other regions in Nigeria, for example, and other African countries as well. So in our own culture in Igbo land, I quite agree that there are some do's and don'ts. There are some rights and wrongs we have in our culture. In our culture, those things that are wrong, we can eliminate them. I agree. Like, some people believe in what they call voodoo, juju. I personally don't believe in it. I personally believe that juju has no power. If juju has power, I don't want to prolong this video. If juju has power, let's say to kill, to destroy, or even to make something wrong to become right, why don't them use the juju, the so-called juju, to make the Nigerian government to begin to do right? Use the juju to do the good things. We can use the juju to kind of organize our country and it will be working perfectly. But let me not go into details of the juju. So another thing is culture, as I said. Culture is a very nice thing. We have our own cultures that if we follow it the right way, it will be well accepted to the rest of the world. We have to begin to be proud of our culture, the whole of Africa, not the wrong ones. Like I said, the so-called voodoo. I don't believe in voodoo. Like the way we wear our clothes is one of our cultures. So our culture has to be practiced by our people proudly. There is nothing wrong in African cultures. Today, as I'm talking to you, if you, for example, wear your traditional attire, let's say your Igbo Ishiago, the lion head Igbo attire, if you wear it to the church with your red cap and maybe with your bead, the way we kit up, if you wear it to the church, the whole members, for example, might start looking at you as somebody that is killing others, as in almost like Satan, and this thing is no good. So our people has to start respecting our culture. There is what they call Halloween. Halloween, I don't want to call it evil, but to me Halloween is Oyibo's culture. It might come from America, it might come from Europe, I don't want to know, but it's Oyibo's culture. And this Oyibo's culture, so many of our people that cannot dance Ogene, our Omalecha Igbo Ogene, for example, so many of them during Halloween will be like Halloween, all of them will wear masquerade, something spiritual, something that they used to sell in market and buy during the Halloween period. All of them will buy it and begin to wear and be proud going on the street with the Oyibos doing Halloween. Halloween is Oyibo's culture. By men looking at it, the Halloween even looks more spiritual than so many of our normal cultures, like playing Ogene music, dancing our traditional music, wearing our traditional clothes, speaking our language, and so many other things. So our people has to start changing their mindset. Very, very important. Then, apart from culture, another thing that follows culture, to me personally, is our marriage system. Our marriage system, for example, I learned that some Yorubas are now doing it, and I want the same thing to be done in Igbo land. We have our traditional marriages, right? So our traditional marriages, without the so-called white wedding, our traditional marriages, we can start giving certificates. After our traditional marriages, we do our traditional marriage. We do our traditional marriage and we issue certificate. You do your traditional marriage and you will be certified to be, you will be officially married. You don't have to start going to court. You don't have to start going to church, with all due respect, to do white wedding. Your traditional marriage is supposed to cover everything. You do your traditional marriage and you'll be given certificates. I learned that Yorubas are now doing it and I give them kudos. This is how it should be done. This is how it should be done in our Igbo land. So we need to start giving traditional certificates during traditional marriages, and it will be official, well stamped, signed, and it can be served as marriage certificate anywhere in the world. Because in this culture that I'm talking about, one of them, which most of our people will now be against this video, one of them is religion. Religion is being brought to Africa. It has done a very good thing. Religion is super good, because in every social gathering you learn good things as well as bad things sometimes. So we learn good things from churches, but there are so many areas where we are getting them wrong, where we are exaggerating. We need to start curtailing them. We need to start curtailing the way we carry. Let me speak it in our normal general Nigerian language, where we carry church for head. So that's it. And as I'm just talking to you, my son just woke up. He was asleep. My wife just left now. Let me use this opportunity to introduce myself officially to you guys. I came from Igbo land and my wife is non-Igbo. Papa Nadia. Papa. So, and my wife is non-Igbo. The father comes from Yoruba and the mother comes from Benin City. I am a core Igbo guy. I so much love Igbo, believe in Igbo. But I love my wife and I married my wife. We Igbos are not racist. So I married my wife and I am so proud of that. Meaning that I'm a kind of trying to go deep in Igbo tradition and African tradition does not mean that I am against marrying other tribes or even marrying Oyibos. Okay? Because I even noticed that some of our people prefer, some of our Nigerians, because we have so many tribes in Nigeria, some of our Nigerians, they prefer marrying Oyibo, the ones we call Oyibo. They prefer marrying them to marrying other tribes in Nigeria. As in, somebody from Igbo land, for example, will be proud to marry a so-called Oyibo woman, even might be more than as an older than him, rather than marrying somebody from Benin or from Yoruba or from Hausa. And this is a very wrong approach to uniting Nigeria. This is a very wrong approach to our African mentality. So we hate ourselves from within. We can marry Oyibo and we'll be proud of it. We married Oyibo. Some will even be bragging because of it. We married Oyibo. But to marry Papa Kediebian, Ngwanemoto. So some will be bragging that they married Oyibo, but their mothers, their fathers, their relatives will not allow them to marry from another tribe in Nigeria. This is so shameful to our African brothers and sisters. So shameful. So those things has to start changing. It has to start changing because we see Oyibos as gods, and we see ourselves as Satans. Even in church, some that are showcasing dramas, we show a black person as Satan, and they will show somebody that is yellow in color or brighter in color as Jesus Christ. These are brainwashed. We need to start coming back. We need to start coming back. I don't know whether anybody is understanding where I'm going. Okay, we are so much brainwashed that it has gotten to a level where everybody should start rethinking. I don't want to brag too much. My son, for example, he just woke up. I might show you guys. My son, for example, I proudly gave him Igbo name, nothing but Igbo name, only Igbo name. Only Igbo name. He has no so-called Oyibo English name. I am proud to do that. If he grows up and he decides to attach any Oyibo name to his name, that will be his choice. But he has to know where he comes from. Anybody that hears his name has to know where he comes from. So I gave him Igbo name. His name is Ebubenna. Papa Bia. But in the YouTube, download. So this is my son Ebubenna. In some of my videos, you must have seen him anywhere. So his name is Ebubenna. I'm proud to give him Igbo name Ebubenna, and he will continue to answer Ebubenna. If I have another baby, I'll still give the person Igbo name. Igbo name, yes. So we have to start coming back, guys. And that's it for today, because I cannot continue. I have so many other things to talk about, but my baby has woken up. My wife just left to go and buy something. And thank you guys for coming around today. Continue to watch my video, continue to share my video, continue to like and comment. If you see anywhere that I'm getting it wrong, feel free to tell me. Criticize my video if you don't like it. Let me learn and begin to do it right. And bye guys, thank you very much, and God bless you. I'll continue the video next time. Thank you.